Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Ed Saavedra and welcome to PocketLore. Today we're going to talk about Prismatic Evolutions because the sealed side of the Pokemon market is doing some wild stuff right now. And specifically, I do want to take a look at the Prismatic Evolutions Super Premium Collection because I do not currently own this box. I did miss it at retail and I do want one for my own collection, but I also do not want to just panic buy because the market is moving. So we are basically going to pull up the TCGplayer page, look at what happened with the sales history, and then we're going to compare it to a couple of other premium boxes. Now, I already have the Mega Charizard X EX Ultra Premium Collection, so that one is more of a benchmark for me. And then I also want to look at Team Rocket's Moltres EX Ultra Premium Collection because that one is kind of sitting in the middle, and I think it also does belong in the conversation. Now, the question for today is pretty simple. So if I were buying one sealed premium product right now, would it be Prismatic or would it be Team Rocket's Moltres? Or should we just wait? Now, to start off, this is the first video on this channel. So as a quick origin story, my Pokemon journey basically started on the Game Boy. I was one of those kids playing at night under the sheets with a little light attachment, basically just trying to squeeze in a few more battles when I was supposed to be asleep. Then after that came the cards, the binder, the holos, the cards I traded away and still regret to this day. Life happened. I did step away for a long time. And about 3 years ago, I would say, is when I basically got pulled right back into the hobby. And now I am collecting again, opening product every now and then, watching prices, and trying to understand where this hobby is going without actually pretending that every price spike is automatically good news. Now, that is what PocketLore is going to be more about: collecting, card stories, market talk, and just honest conversations about how to enjoy Pokemon without getting completely steamrolled by FOMO. So let's talk about Prismatic Evolutions. Now, the Super Premium Collection, it started off as a $90 product at retail, right? On the secondary market, it had already moved way past that. So for a while, TCGplayer pricing was hovering roughly in the $250 to the $300 range, which is already around 3 times MSRP. But then the sales history started looking a little bit different. Not just collectors buying one box, not just somebody grabbing 2 or 3. So if you look here on the TCGplayer page for the Prismatic Evolution Super Premium Collection, this is where the story basically starts to get a little bit weird. So you can see the product, you can see the market price moving around, and then you look at the sales history and it stops looking like normal collector demand, right? We are talking about big blocks of inventory that is just moving at once, large multi-unit purchases, sales that are in the hundreds, prices around the mid to high $300 range. And when you add up that kind of volume, you are basically looking at well over $200,000 just moving through one sealed Pokemon product in a very short window. And TCGplayer link trackers are showing Prismatic anywhere from the low $300 into the $360 range, depending on whether you are looking at market price, recent sold comps, or blended marketplace estimates. So the pricing is a little bit messy, and that matters because it does not look like a calm market where everybody agrees on fair price value. This kind of looks like a product that is being repriced in real time. So we have seen expensive Pokemon boxes before, of course. This isn't something new. Now, what does feel a little bit different here is the behavior, right? When hundreds of units get absorbed quickly at elevated prices, that just starts to look less like normal demand and more like positioning. So it feels like somebody or some group of buyers just decided together to go after the Prismatic Evolution Super Premium Collection before supply started to get thinner. And honestly, I do kind of understand why. So Prismatic has Eevee, it has the Eeveelutions, it has premium packaging, it has sealed display appeal as well, and it is connected to a time when Pokemon is about to get even louder because the 30th anniversary is coming, right? The 30th celebration set is expected to release in Japan on September 16, 2026, having a worldwide release planned for September, and the early details do point to 6 card booster packs where basically every card is a foil, a new rarity tier, and marketing built around icons like Pikachu, Mewtwo, and Mew. But the detail that matters for this video is the companion product. A 30th Celebration Premium deck set, Espeon and Umbreon, is also expected to release alongside the main anniversary set. So if you are asking why buyers would be looking at Prismatic right now, I believe that is part of the answer. The anniversary year is putting Eeveelutions right back in the middle of the conversation, and that gives Prismatic a real narrative tailwind. So it doesn't guarantee anything, but it does give speculators a very easy story to tell themselves, right? Eevee set, the anniversary year, Espeon and Umbreon product, and also shrinking sealed supply. And that is where I basically get uncomfortable because there are two conversations here. So one is the collector conversation. Do I want this product because I love it? The conversation is fun. That is the hobby. The other conversation is, can large buyers drain enough supply to basically push the price higher before regular collectors actually get a fair shot? And that is a lot less fun for everyone. So I am not against sealed collecting. Some people collect cards, some people collect sealed boxes, and some people do both. But when one product starts seeing huge chunks of inventory just disappear all at once, the regular collector is basically playing a different game. You are not just competing with another person who just wants one box for their shelf. You may be competing with buyers who can actually spend 6 figures and wait. And once supply gets thinner, prices can basically just start moving faster. So if prices move faster, regular collectors start feeling FOMO. And once FOMO takes over, that's when people make choices that they would not make in a calmer market. So that is the danger. Now, the bullish argument for Prismatic is not that ridiculous. So if we look at the 151 Ultra Premium Collection, that product became a monster because it basically hit nostalgia perfectly, right? So the original 151 Pokemon, Kanto Energy, a premium sealed box that people actually wanted to own, even if they never planned on opening it at all. So Prismatic is not the same product, but it has its own version of that power. So Eevee and the Eeveelutions are some of the strongest characters in the entire Pokemon brand. So if the anniversary cycle basically pulls more attention into the hobby, is then exactly the kind of modern sealed product that people will actually be pointing to, right? So this is kind of where comparisons start to matter, because if we only look at Prismatic, then every price move starts to feel like destiny, right? So let's put it next to a couple of other premium boxes. So first, the Mega Charizard X EX Ultra Premium Collection. This one is a little bit interesting for almost the opposite reason. So it is a Charizard Ultra Premium product. It has the big character, the premium box treatment, and also the kind of sealed display appeal that should make people notice it. So if you look here at the TCGplayer page for the Mega Charizard X EX Ultra Premium Collection, this is the comparison that made me slow down a little bit. The movement does look much more controlled than Prismatic. So price charting is showing recent TCGplayer sales a little bit over $200, with its current ungraded market estimate at around $190. The TCGplayer page has also shown listings closer to the $250 range, depending on the seller inventory. So that doesn't mean that Mega Charizard is bad. And honestly, it might be healthier, right? So it might be a healthier example right now. It is moving, but it is not being treated like the market basically has to solve the entire product in one afternoon. And for me personally, This is useful because I already have the Mega Charizard box. So I'm looking at it as basically a baseline. So a premium sealed product with a massive character on the front, moving steadily, but not moving like Prismatic. So that tells me that buyers are not just buying any premium box. They are basically choosing targets, right? They're choosing very specific targets. And then there is the Team Rocket's Moltres EX Ultra Premium Collection as well. So this is the one that I think people should not ignore because it is not as overheated as Prismatic, but it is also not as obvious as Charizard. And that classic Team Rocket branding, Prismatic has Eevee, Mega Charizard has Charizard, and Team Rocket's Moltres has the villain angle, also the legendary bird angle, and the classic Team Rocket branding. So if you look here at TCGplayer page for Team Rocket's Moltres EX Ultra Premium Collection, this is why I think it belongs in the conversation. So the online pricing there looks like it's sitting somewhere between the other two. For this one, price charting is showing an ungraded market estimate at around $304, with recent TCGplayer sales in early May around $322, $328, and $349. So depending on the marketplace, you get a slightly different read, but the broad picture is basically clear, right? Team Rocket's Moltres is not cheap, but it also does not look like the same kind of one-day panic move that we are seeing with Prismatic. And that makes it useful as a comparison. So if Prismatic is the overheated Eeveelution play, Mega Charizard is the premium box that I already own and can use as a baseline, and Team Rocket's Moltres is the darker nostalgia play, then collectors have to ask a better question. What is going up today, right? The better question is, which one do I actually want to own in 5 years from now? That is where I think a lot of people get tripped up, because the bullish case for Prismatic is very easy to understand. The anniversary is coming. Eeveelutions are popular. Supply is drying up. 151 went crazy. So Prismatic must keep going. And the story does sound a little bit clear. So clear stories are exactly where markets can get dangerous, right? So I do think that the 30th anniversary could push prices higher. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the sealed Pokemon gets even more intense as we start moving through the anniversary cycle. But I do also think the anniversary could be the peak of this current wave. Now, after the hype moment passes, attention can move on, buyers can rotate to the next product, and also some people who bought because they were scared of missing out may realize that they paid the emotional price and not the patient price, right? That does not mean that Prismatic crashes to retail. I really do not expect that, but a product can be strong long term and still be overheated short term. Just be honest with yourself about why you are buying it. You are buying it because you think it is an easy flip. Understand who you are sitting at the table with, because the people that are moving hundreds of units are not playing with the same constraints as a normal hobby buyer, right? That doesn't mean that you cannot make money in Pokemon. It just means that you shouldn't mistake a heated market for a guaranteed one. So here is where I stand at the moment. The Super Premium Collection has real collector appeal, real character appeal, and real scarcity pressure, right? But the speed of this move should make people cautious, not careless. The hobby is strongest when collectors can actually participate. When everything turns into a race against deep pockets, the market may go up, but the hobby can start feeling worse. And that is the line that I care about with PocketLore. So if this is the kind of Pokemon market breakdown that you want more of, hit subscribe. I am building PocketLore around exactly this: what is worth buying, what is getting overheated, and where collectors should slow down before the market makes choices for them. So drop a comment and tell me where you are in Prismatic Evolutions right now. If you had to buy one sealed premium box today, which one would it be? Which one are you choosing? The Prismatic Evolution Super Premium Collection, Team Rocket's Moltres EX Ultra Premium Collection, or are you holding cash and waiting for the 30th anniversary product? Also, do you think that these big purchases are collector demand, coordinated groups, or outside money moving into Pokemon? I am Ed Saavedra. Thanks for being here for the first PocketLore video, and I will catch you all in the next one.